Welcome to W6, an investigative report. This week's feature, the Industrial Revolution. The first question is, why did the Industrial Revolution start in England? Well, the answers are simple and twofold. First, there were the markets. England had a lot of colonies overseas and so therefore had the commodities or the raw materials to produce things. And England had the population. The entrepreneurs could invest in new factories and the population could work in those factories. An entrepreneur is a wealthy individual who is willing to risk capital in order to make more money. England was also important to the Industrial Revolution, not only because of the resources that they had in their colonies, but also because of the raw materials and resources that they had at home, including the very important resources of coal and iron. When you look at this map, you can see that iron was very prominent in the southern part of the island. It could also be found in the Swansea area, and also in Liverpool, which would have been an important shipbuilding area for the usage of that iron. If you go to the center of the country, Birmingham and Northampton were also key areas for iron and ore, and all the way up into the northern part from Newcastle to Whitehaven. Iron was a very important resource, and it allowed them to build ships and bridges and railroad tracks.
Another very important resource during the Industrial Revolution was coal. Coal was found in many areas across the UK, such as Swansea, Liverpool, Manchester, Sheffield, and Newcastle, Durham. The reason coal was so important in the UK was that coal was more useful and efficient than wood. Coal was also used to power the steam engine. As this timeline shows, Britain remained fairly unchanged from 1300 to 1700. Industry, power, transport, and community all remained relatively unchanged for 400 years. It was in the late 1700s that wool gave way to cotton, and the cotton industry took off. With the cotton industry came many factories, and with those factories came employment for more people. So people ended up moving from the country into the city to work in these factories. You can also see that during this time, that the steam engine really took off and was very instrumental in new inventions being built within the textile industry as well as the power industry. The steam engine gave way to creating railroads throughout Britain as well. If we look down into community had also started to change during this time as more people were moving into the cities from the country, and schools started to open toward the end of the 18th century.
The reason England was so important to the Industrial Revolution was because of its very open-minded parliament. They believed that entrepreneurs should have their way and their say, and so created the economic theory of laissez-faire, which allowed many business owners to invest and grow the economy. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of W6 and look forward to the following episodes later on this week.